that they're not alone, and they shouldn't feel ashamed. As the church family, is not acceptable to just ignore it. We need to do something.
Prisoner Reentry Ministries at American Baptist Home Mission Societies answers the call to do something about the pain and isolation of families with a loved one in prison. Through a network of prison ministry and prisoner reentry practitioners, established as a sanctuary of prayer and strength, American Baptist Home Mission Societies supports ministries like Ohio's Bondage Breakers, which offers job training and addiction recovery programs to returning citizens, and sponsors an annual camp for children with an incarcerated parent.
Children who have parents incarcerated, they're dealing with issues of abandonment, they're dealing with issues of shame, they're dealing with issues of remorse, and then some are so angry themselves that they become just like the parent, and they become a statistic in the juvenile justice system, and they're all from broken homes. They're broken, I can't fix them, but I can take them to Jesus Christ.
Now let go.
To somebody who can mend the broken heart, who can soothe the aching soul. Do what Jesus did.
Being here and stuff, it puts me in a good environment to want to do good. And then to be around kids and stuff, it gives me something to look forward to. So it makes me look at the positive things instead of all the negative things that's happening.
American Baptist Home Mission Societies provides prison ministry training to churches interested in learning how to support those individuals returning from incarceration who want to change their lives. Also, grants to organizations across the country help to strengthen and establish programs that train mentors of returning citizens, as well as volunteers who visit incarcerated individuals and lead prison worship services.
As American Baptists, we come from a history of justice, social justice.
This is part of the church work, and somebody has to do it. If it's not now, and then when? If it's not us, then who?
When we give for America for Christ, we are obeying what Jesus said when he told us to care for the least of this.
Please, give generously. With your gifts, American Baptist Home Mission Societies will continue bringing God's hope and healing to prison ministries across the United States and Puerto Rico.
With the weather finally warming up and the sun shining, it's much easier for us to say today that this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Several announcements to share with you this morning. Kelly, our secretary, had root canal surgery this week, and so if you want to blame anybody for the bulletin, it was me. Hopefully we got all the essentials in there for worshiping together this morning, but a couple of announcements to share. First of all, Barb, I'm going to ask you to come forward and share the announcement about the carols. Mary and the family, Caleb and Dan, are moving to Wayne this Saturday morning. And Barb is going to tell you what the plans we have as a church family to share.
First of all, I would like to thank you very, very much for all of those people who donated items. For the workers that will be the deal Saturday to help you. When we know more details, I will contact you about where to be and so on. I do want to thank you for the food that you provided. The list was filled out extremely well, and I did call
Thank you, Mark. In case you haven't heard the word, Betty Peterson has been moved to a hospice care facility in Lincoln. She would appreciate cards and letters. I do have the contact information with me. Yes, Helen.
My brother Bill Brad's name, I don't believe is in the bulletin. He had a cardiac arrest right in front of my eyes.
Yes.
He was 7 minutes without oxygen, I am told. And we were told not to expect him to live.
Right.
He's 69 years old and he's breaking my legs. But he is living. And I never saw him move until yesterday, but his arms and legs are moving. His eyes are somewhat open, and when my sister asked him a question, he shook his head. I'm told, no. He has a balloon in him. He has several heart arteries that are 100% blocked. I never saw him sick a day in his life, but
Well-
he's very ill now, but we're praying about brain damage.
Right.
And I had to get it straight.
Since we don't have the microphone, Helen, let me go ahead and share that with the congregation. Like I said, because Kelly wasn't here, we didn't get everybody in the bulletin. But Helen's younger brother, her little brother, Bill, had a heart attack in Helen's front yard. He is at Faith Regional. There was indication he was without oxygen for quite a little bit of time there, but they did begin to see some hopeful signs of movement and response at the hospital yesterday. So please keep Bill Brent in your prayers as well. Faith Regional ICU. So again, Betty, if you want information for Betty, I do have that with me. Also, Sheila Stuthman's dad, Dale Race, is having surgery this Wednesday. Please keep him in your prayers. These are the ones that did not make it into the bulletin. Kay Hooper, who was planning to move last Sunday, is not going to move. So if you have the information from last year's directory, that will continue to be correct for this year. Her phone number would not have changed, so that's all the same. Friday morning, I got to meet a beautiful little girl as I was at Faith Regional. Iris is with us this morning with her mom, Fancy Moore, and her family with her there. So we wanted to say, Fancy, it's great to see you back with us. Welcome, Amber and Iris. A big welcome for your first Sunday of life here at church with your church family. So, Joyce Galoo has a brief announcement for the food pantry, but also I would like to bring attention to the fact this is the last Sunday in March, and there are 2 giving opportunities to be aware of. Being a 5th Sunday, this is Spare Change Sunday, so we do have our wheelbarrow out in the lobby, a vestibule, gathering place, whatever that place is out there. So if you have your spare change, or want to make a contribution to bring down the principal on the mortgage, the wheelbarrow is waiting for you. And we have received to date $485 and some change of our goal for $600 for the America for Christ offering. So please, if you're able to help us make that goal, the envelopes are here, or you can use the envelopes in your pew. Just mark it America for Christ. Okay, Joyce.
Tomorrow is our last day at the pantry. We're a little bit to buy the milk, eggs, meat, and margarine. So if you want to put a couple of dollars in this mission giving envelope or designate it on your check, we're really supposed to give around $500, and we're not there yet. So if you want to do that, you can do that too.
Then a word of celebration. The Tuckers and Tarina and myself were down in Kearney Friday night and Saturday for the American Baptist Churches of Nebraska's annual mission festival. We had a great time of hearing about missions that as American Baptists, when we come together, we can do a whole lot more than we can as individual churches. So we had a great time just celebrating the missions that churches in Nebraska are involved with. There's one closer to home. Next Sunday afternoon at 1:30 p.m., the York Association, which I thought was dead, but apparently we're back to life for a missions fair next Sunday, will be at Decatur First Baptist. So if you'd like to ride with us, speak with me or somebody, and we'll get a good troop out there. Lunch is provided. So if you want to come, you get fed first in good Baptist tradition. Are there any last announcements to share this morning before we join together and greet each other in Jesus' name? Seeing no hands, I invite you to stand and greet your neighbor with Jesus' love.